What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Chicken Bone Alley, brought to you by Profab Headers and Exhaust, SRI Performance, Earl Ramey Racing Engines, and Stock Car Steel and Aluminum. What's going on, guys? I'm David.
I'm Connor.
What's up, man?
Finally back racing a little bit.
A little bit. About to end it up, but back a little bit.
Getting colder, getting darker.
It is dark. Man, I don't like time change in the fall time. I don't like
the one thing about I like the weather, but I don't like it being dark. So I don't understand it. That's not necessary.
No, it's not. But somebody at church the other night told me, they was like, I like it this time. We're on track with the rest of the world. I'm like, I care less about the rest of the world.
They get on track with us.
Exactly. I was like, let's keep it on the summer schedule there. I said, I don't like going home, and as soon as I get home from work,
it's just dark.
Dark.
Yeah.
Like, well, so, but it is what it is, I reckon. It is what it is. So, we had some racing this past weekend, which we will get into here in a little while. I want to say, first of all, Sterling was going to be here tonight, but he can't. His grandmother passed away this past weekend, so thoughts and prayers out to his family, his mom, his uncle there. Praying for their family there, because that's it's never fun time there. So praying for the Sterling and his family. So anyway, other than that, what other than racing, what you been up to this weekend?
That was a good part of it, as you know.
That was your whole
Friday,
week.
Saturday, and Sunday we watched racing. So Sunday we had a little anniversary for our church. It was the 54th anniversary.
Been there a little while.
Oh yeah. So we did that, and that was good. And went home and watched a little bit of NASCAR, and about did it for me.
Nice. I do want to say on here real quick to everybody, if anybody's watching, we had to change up some stuff really fast today on our live stream stuff. So I don't know if everything's working great or whatever else. I don't have a clue. We had some computer issues, and I had to change up. We run off a laptop right now, so is what it is. But anyway, story of our lives. Always something. But anyway, well, cool. Well, we this weekend, let's see, other than, like I said, we was at some races over at Dillon. Friday, got off work, pretty much come over here, worked on the car, got it ready. Went to the track on Saturday. We got home not I think say pretty decent. And then we got up Sunday morning, got to church, had, the time change stuff. I told myself I must have been really tired, because normally when time changes, it falls back. We get a extra hour of sleep. Normally I'm up an hour early. I was not. I was still, I was like, the alarm clock went off still. I was like, wow, I normally don't make it to the alarm clock when time changes. But, so anyway, then sat around, watched the race for a while. Then we went over to the youth pastor's house. They've been doing have you watched The Chosen?
I've heard about it, about the Life of Christ.
Yeah.
Or Bible.
It's a good
Bible,
series.
Events.
Yeah, our church has watched it, but now the youth group was watching it, and so they go over there, and they've invited us, me and Kayla, and Landon was already invited, but me, Kayla, and Jackson also tag along over there, so we sat outside by the fire and had it on a projector outside last night, and ate some, they cooked some, some quesadillas and stuff like that, and little crunch wraps, and he was doing it on the Blackstone out there, and we were out there, had a fire going, and so it was pretty cool evening. Been doing that the past few weeks, so it's been pretty good. It's a good series. I liked it. Anyway, I know there's been some criticism of some things in it or whatever, but for the most part, I thought it
pretty based.
But it wasn't so dry as some things have been. It was very. It shows a little of the normal side, I guess we say, that we don't think of when we read a Bible or listen to a message. A lot of times, you don't think of, everybody in those times was walking around just like us, talking and everything, and that's kind of what it brings along with it. So I like it. So I would recommend, if people haven't seen it, to check it out. Check out The Chosen. So it's pretty good. Tonight on here, we got Levi Morris coming on. Rivertown Racing's Levi Morris coming to hang out with us for a little while. Talk about his season this year. But other than the South Carolina 400, that has pretty much wrapped up our season around here.
It is.
Kind of sad in some ways.
It is, but
it's like
it's been a long season though.
It's been long, but I look back at it and I'm like, we really hadn't raced all that much.
Not as much as we
No.
always do. I feel like I've been to a lot of races. I feel like, I don't know.
Well, it rained so much.
It rained a lot there in the summer.
Yeah. We weren't able to go to, a lot of Dillon's races got rained out throughout the summer. And we didn't get to race near as much there anyway. There were some at Florence. I didn't run as much at Florence this year, obviously. So I don't know. It was pretty good. So while we're talking about seasons, I mean, how do you, both of us, it seemed like we just had motor troubles and little troubles here. So just your season overall, what'd you think about it?
It's kind of rough, kind of a lot of ups and downs, but there was some good spots. I felt like we were in position a lot of times to get really good finishes, and just stuff happened, especially with the Legend car. There was several races where we had really good runs going, and something broke or a crash one time. So it was kind of rough, but not for lack of trying. Just some things didn't quite go our way, but I think we did kind of like we did last year. I think we kind of hit our stride a little better here near the end of the season. So kind of sad to see it go now, but
yeah. Well, we also got something that we had talked about a few weeks back here on the show. Your dad, Jamie Lee, he after we talked about it on the show, he got in the Legend car the next week. Then after that, he got a call, I guess, a couple weeks ago. Our buddy Chad Webster asked him to come drive his car this past weekend, and y'all put on a little race out there.
Yeah, we.
Not much side by side from y'all that I was hoping for, but so y'all put on a little race out there, so that was good. Let's go ahead, just that one at least. Let's Charger class. Before we get into it, one of the craziest things I've ever seen happen at a racetrack happen. Unfortunately, nobody got hurt, nothing like that. But Pete was over there working on wiping off your car. You had some tire marks on it from earlier in the day.
Plenty of
them. And then I guess we figured that the static electricity...
It was, because it had been kind of shocking us all weekend trying to get it ready.
Yeah, and they he went to wipe the tire marks off, and all of a sudden it popped, and when it did, the whole rag just like blew up.
It was a flame.
Yeah, and I mean, like
I felt the heat come off of it, and I was like, "Whoa!"
I did too. It was like right behind me, and I mean, it felt like a pop. I mean, behind me, I was like, "Oh god!" And the whole rag just caught on fire. I told myself, "I'm glad it wasn't inside the car you were wiping down." So
I'm glad it didn't hurt him, because it was
me too.
It was kind of a little blaze there. I mean, it wasn't a little spark; it was a blaze.
I know, and it was something else. So we'll get back into it here in just a second. Because I really want to talk about all that racing. And racing with your dad out there and all that stuff. But, ladies and gentlemen, on the show now, we have the 2023 Ohio Valley Legend Car Series champion, Mr. Levi Morris. Levi, what's going on with you, buddy?
Oh, not much. And winding down the season, figuring out what we're going to do for the next steps. Looks like we're getting ready to start tearing the car down, getting it ready for next year.
That's what y'all do every offseason. They tear down the cars the most up there, and I guess that's more of a dirt thing than us guys.
Yeah,
we kind of pull it out the trailer and look at it, and we're like, all right, let's make this adjustment. All right, 5 minutes later, we're done. Y'all tear them cars down a lot. But anyway, Levi, I want to first of all, I want to congratulate you, man, on your championship season, man. Congratulations, good job out there, buddy.
Thank you. It was hard fought. Like that entire field of cards we got up here is no slouch whatsoever.
Yeah,
like it came down to like one race split between the top four in points.
That's That's awesome, man. That's good racing. I like that. I mean, I know that's not very settling for you to go into it like that, but it's looking at it from a fan's point of view, I guess you say, that's good racing there. That's fun to watch.
Oh yeah, yeah. It unfortunately, well, it worked out in my favor of all things, but unfortunately, our actual championship bout, which is just like Lucas Oil does and just like NASCAR does it now, it's a championship 4 format. So what it was coming down to was our championship race was supposed to be, I believe, the second week in October. Rained out, so they moved it to an alternate date, and then that one rained out. So at that point, with Dirt Nationals coming up, some other events coming up, and just getting into the off season, they decided to go ahead and call it. And that defaulted the Ohio Valley Series champion and the Brush Creek Track champion to the points leaders, which happened to be me. So I'm very happy
So
to have ended up with both of those.
He went 2 for 2.
Yeah. Didn't even know that.
Hey, what I say about it, I mean, you say unfortunately, but fortunate for you. In my opinion, you can't win it if you're not already there. So that's the way I see it. You were there, you were up top, and that's where you need to be. I mean, that's how racing goes. It rains out. That's part of racing, unfortunately. So so congratulations on both of those, man. But I want to get back a little bit. We've had Kale on the show. We've talked on the show, and we've had you. I don't know, probably on talked to you at different places. We've been at the track with y'all. All kind of stuff, but I want to ask you a little bit about you. Tell everybody who you are, where you're from, all that good stuff, because, we hadn't had you on here to actually talk about all that.
Well, as you said, I'm Levi Morris. I come from Coal Grove, Ohio, and started racing, the first full season was 2021. In 2020, I helped Kale out with his car for the first year, and then the deal came up for the car I've got. So we went down in December of 2020, picked it up from Charlotte, came back home, and I've been racing with it ever since. And
I do want to say, Levi won the championship against a bunch of new cars, but Levi was running 1250, or were you running 1200 start off?
Well, we had a 1250 starting the year.
Gotcha.
But granted, the engine ran great while it was running great. It was a very strong engine, but about mid to late July, we were getting it ready for a race, and all of a sudden it just started blowing blue smoke right out of the engine. So we're like, oh no. So we decided to save it a little bit, and we pulled it out and put the 1200 back in it that came with the car, which was already on its last leg whenever we got it.
Hey,
so we fought an uphill battle with that car all year.
Well, real quick though, you were caught and ready to rock there for the last one. Those you made some upgrades to the car.
Oh yeah. Which there was a whole funny story about that. It was like, because I was on the down power engine, Kale was going to let me borrow his car for the championship night, get me in an FZ car, so that way I'm at full power, get the whole thing set up for me to go with the championship 4. But the race before the championship, that motor blew. Threw a rod right through cylinder number 2. So I had to spoil a surprise because I had already ordered a EMT09 back in the beginning of September. And I just had a feeling that was what Kale was going to be worried about more than the motor blowing, was there goes my championship race, because I wouldn't have the car to drive. So, yeah, the week before the championship race is supposed to be, made a call to check on that motor, called in Monday, told we could have it ready Tuesday. So we drove down, picked it up, got it back in, and Friday we had it in a firing state. Luckily, for that sake, we ran it out that first day because we were a long ways away from having that car ready for the 14th race.
Wow. That's sometimes it's a blessing in disguise, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, well, cool, man. Well, all right. Back from racing. Other than strapping in a race car, a legend car, what's your day to day, man?
Usually it's just working in the machine shop that I work at. I do some grass cutting jobs here or there for the church and for some other businesses and whatnot. But usually it's wake up, go to work, come home, either think about the race car, think about something on a video game, either iRacing. Just keep myself busy.
I fix to say, have you been on iRacing lately?
On that note, no, I have not.
Levi used to run all our series and stuff with us. He's got into other stuff now.
Yeah. Well, I keep like every time it comes up, it's like a Tuesday. It's like, oh no, because this whole year it's been every week we have been fighting with something on my car Tuesday's usually our shop night, but I know that first year that I had the car, I was able to make the races and whatnot. This year, it was just every time it was get to the shop day, we always found something critically wrong that would take up our entire time getting the car fixed.
Yeah. Well, sometimes it bees that way, as they say. Yeah. But man, all right. So, you just talked about you started in 2021 and 2022 now, and 2023 you are a series and a track champion. But man, tell us a little bit about your year. You talked about having some motor issues, but how do you feel like from the start of the year? Because I know I was out there with y'all. I think that was very first year at Fayetteville, wasn't it? I think it was.
Yep. Yeah. Well, that was,
or was that end of last year?
It was last year. Yep.
Okay.
So that would have been my second year in the car.
I got you. So from there to now, obviously, I mean, there's been good progression, man. You seem to. I've watched results. I look at it every week. When I'm on Facebook and all that stuff, and check results, or I'm looking at it on Race Monitor, My Race Pass, and seeing what y'all are doing. Mm-hmm. And to me, man, it has looked like you have had a steady progression of you started down here, and it's been just progressively better finishes, running better throughout the races, having better heat races. How did you feel it came along?
But the biggest thing is a lot of help with the car. We've had several people that's been helping us out big time. Cliff Bird, Josh Dietz, Hunter Tolliver, Jerry Grayley, and Thomas, all with Southern Ohio Speed. They have all, and Cale himself, have all helped out tremendously, getting the car more comfortable for me to run, getting the setups right to where we know what we can need to do, adjust on the track, and just overall being more comfortable behind the wheel of the car, like not being as apprehensive, but still not trying to want to run somebody right over. I'm a little bit more brave in putting it in a situation that I didn't think I could recover it from.
I got you there. And that's a lot of it, man. Me and Connor keep saying we want to get ours out and get on a dirt track sometime. That's why I told him. I said, Kale and Levi need to come on down. I said, and we'll let them run our cars on asphalt, and we'll take them somewhere and we'll try them out on dirt.
I like that idea.
Oh yeah,
it sounds good to us.
I've been wanting to hit up some asphalt here, there. Well, it's the same issue everywhere else is having the tires, but now I've actually got an engine that I'm confident in actually cutting loose.
There you go.
Because I was kind of given the warning last year because Jerry Grayley and Hunter was wanting me to kind of get it set up to run an ONA because they were supposed to have a end of the year race, and Jerry's like, I don't know about that with that motor you got. You may blow it.
Well, I'm just going to put it out there. I think y'all need to go ahead and plan at some point next year. Come on down, and we'll hook y'all up over at Dillon Motor Speedway. We'll make that happen with some tires over there for sure. And,
I've been seeing the stuff going on with some testings and whatnot.
we got that handled. So so y'all come on down. We'll make that work.
Yeah.
Well, cool, man. Cool. So, man, you won the championship now. You got a new motor in the car, and I know you just said you're going to tear it back down. What's your plans for next year? What you looking at? What's it looking like for you for next year?
More than likely will be predominantly with the Ohio Valley Series again. I'm hoping to get to tour out to hit some more like out of the way races. Like I know one of the big ones I was wanting to get was that February race they always have at Fayetteville.
Yep.
I'd like to make it down there to that one. We had talked about like maybe going up and check out Beaver Dam. We've had a lot of our local guys go up there and try that track out and say they love it up there. There's a few Pennsylvania tracks I'd like to hit up with the Central PA Legends just because at that point I could be right around Tyler.
There you go.
Snag him and take him to with us to see a Legends race.
You got to get him back in a car, man. He's been out too much.
He's keeping himself busy with that paving business he's got going on, and that is growing day by day for him.
Well, that's good. That is good. Well, cool, man. Well, man, what? But before we get too far, what is you talked about, in the series y'all ran. What are some of the tracks y'all were running up there?
But our home track is Brush Creek Motorsports Complex. Our race director Stephen Parton, also his family owns and operates that facility. So we spend a lot of time there. Portsmouth Raceway Park, Atomic, which that one is flat out mean for our cars. It is a blast to run at that one. Florence, we only made it there once this year, I believe, but usually we have a few stops there. 35 Raceway Park. The one actually my favorite, the track that I found my favorite was Tyler County when we ran up there with the Hillbilly 100.
Yep.
I would love to go to that one a lot more often. If they could just transplant that track more towards Southern Ohio, it'd be perfect. But that one's probably the furthest one we'd go to on a tour. I think for me and Kale, which may be the closest ones, it's a little over 3 hours.
Man,
to get to that track.
I'm gonna tell you, Connor. Us around here, we pretty much we got Florence, South Carolina. He's talking about Florence, Kentucky, but we got Florence Motor Speedway down the road from us. We got Dillon down the road. Beyond that, we got to go a little ways to find tracks. Nah, not up there. They just go around another corner and there's another track up there.
Yeah, I think within like maybe a 2 or 3 hour bubble, we maybe have like anywhere between 10 to 15 dirt tracks.
Yeah.
All around here.
Yeah.
Portsmouth being the closest to me and Kale, and I wish we got more races there. The last time we were there, it was foot to the floor the whole time around. Do not even let off of that thing.
Wow. Last time I was there, I about froze.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It was cold.
That's why I was the funniest one on that is the coldest it's ever got up there. I think it was either the second or the third year they held the Dirt Track World Championship there at Portsmouth. It was, I want to say it was in the mid to upper 30s when we were watching the feature.
I felt like that's what it was that night I was there. I was about to freeze. I don't know if it was, but I was about to freeze. I remember that. Speaking of Dirt Track World Championship, they moved that from Portsmouth to Eldora this year. I mean, and I know y'all were always a part of the Dirt Track World Championship there in the Legend cars, but was it kind of upsetting that happened? Because I know everybody out there loves Eldora, but being that y'all ran with the Lucas series there, it was always kind of cool and something everybody looked forward to.
Oh yeah, it was, and I mean I understand the tracks ownership part of it. Like, we already knew going into it that more than likely we weren't going to be able to run with them because we know that Eldora has a policy where our cars cannot run there. So that was kind of a bummer. I mean, I didn't get the chance to go this year. Kale and my dad went to watch, but I mean, it was a deal that we knew that was going to be kind of going south the moment they announced that it was moving. That we were probably not going to be a part of it.
Right.
The promoter enjoys us. He fought for us, but I understand when a track has a standing order or anything like that. That's nothing I can do. Nothing to complain about or anything of that nature.
Yeah. I'll tell you why they have that in place, Connor. A lot of people in the Legends car scene, especially in Ohio, know it, but Tony Stewart's dad still races Legend cars.
Oh, wow.
And they were racing at Eldora, and somebody got in a wreck, or did his dad get in a wreck? Or
his dad did. From what I understand, he almost bit the dust in that one.
Yeah, he got in a bad wreck.
I imagine.
And so Tony told him there wasn't no more Legend cars racing at Eldora. That's why they run them on the little Eldora back behind it. Yeah. Have y'all been able to run that track, the little Eldora up there?
I have not personally.
Okay.
The biggest ones, the absolute biggest ones we hit are Portsmouth Atomic and Florence in Kentucky.
Yeah. With
the fastest being Atomic.
I've watched y'all a few times on Flow Racing when it's been on there, and they are toting the mill around there. They put it up on the cushion and just not lifting. Pretty much about like we were with that Cobra tire test. Just just wide open.
Yeah. I could easily see it. Eldora as big and wide as it is. I could see the speeds for our cars easily being a potential hazard.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, and I know you said you saw it, and I'm just throwing this out there. I'm not trying to scare anybody, but when we did the Cobra tire test over at Dillon Motor Speedway, we were looking at late model speeds out of the legend cars. So, and I had somebody ask me, actually, Andy, he's watching right now. He asked me, he's like, well, what's going to happen if somebody's brakes fail? I said, it's not a problem because we're not using the brakes with those tires. I said, we just go in the corner. You go in the corner and they just bite and you turn. So it's not bad at all. I said, I hope that doesn't happen, but you just steered around the corner. Not a big deal. But so yeah, I get you there.
Man, you all sound like you're already ready to run on dirt.
Man, I'm ready for it.
I've been trying.
I'd love it. I'd love it.
Florence has a little dirt track behind it. I'd like to run them on that.
Ooh, that'd be too small. I've run a go-kart on there, and you couldn't hardly pass with a go-kart.
I mean, it needs to be wider, but
we would kill that fence out of 4.
part of it.
Well, that's one thing I like. It's probably just me that says it, but that's the funny part with two of the bull rings we have up here, which is Moeller and 35, is the best way I've ever been able to explain it is 35 is like a Martinsville, whereas Moeller's like a Bristol.
Yeah. One's
got banking and kind of usually a lot higher speeds, and Martinsville requires a little bit of finesse. Or Martinsville, 35 requires a little bit of finesse because it can be a very difficult track for our cars to make a pass on. So it leads to more, I want to say more technical racing, like a little bit more of a spectacle of that, because you have to kind of pick and choose your battles a lot more wisely, because it is very easy for us to wad our cars up on a smaller track.
Yeah, for sure. Well, cool, man. Well, cool. Well, man, I appreciate you jumping on with us tonight, and congratulations again on the 2 championships. Who all you want to thank for helping you out on that car this year?
Well, on the car this year, we started out with First Guardian on it. Cole did a lot with that company. Unfortunately, he had to close the doors on that. But we also have Southern Ohio Speed is one of the major sponsors. Scioto Smiles. You all, of course, at Chicken Bone Alley have helped us out. Blood Eagle Racing with Tyler, and more I'm probably forgetting, but there's a lot of hands that's been on that car to help us out this year.
Well, good deal, man. Well, good deal. Well, man, we sure appreciate you jumping on with us tonight, and
thank you.
I'm glad to have you on, and I hope we'll be we're gonna talk with you about some wins here coming up soon.
That's what I'm hoping.
Well, that is one thing I didn't ask. To let everybody know, how many wins did you have on the season, Levi?
0.
He Matt Kenseth them.
Yeah. Well, that was the funny part, is this season alone, I think that none of the top 4 had any victories.
Wow. None of the top 4. I didn't realize none of the top 4.
Yeah, none of the top 4 had any victories. Wow. We had the number 2 car. Well, that's series point races.
Right.
We didn't have any because they ran a dark horse race where it was anybody that didn't win a feature could. And the second place, Anthony Bumgarner, he ended up picking up the win in that dark horse. But when it came to actual points races, no victories between the 4 of us.
That's crazy.
That's pretty crazy there. Y'all just need to go. Y'all need to start out the first year. I don't care if it's a practice. Just 4 of y'all get out there and just run each other.
Yeah.
Like, who was going to win this? And then regardless, you just hold up the trophy and be like, it's mine, regardless.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, appreciate you jumping on here, buddy. And we will be talking with you soon, man.
Yep, sounds good.
All right, everybody. Mr. Levi Morris from Rivertown Racing. Congratulations to him on 2023 Ohio Valley Dirt Legends Dirt Series champion and Brush Creek track champion there. Doubling up. So that was pretty cool for him this year to go out and, especially like you just said, top 4.
I kind of wish we had a little local series like that around here that can run some legend cars at a couple different tracks. That's not, INX ever saw, just kind of a locally run series. I don't know.
And we've talked about maybe doing something like that. We just got to get tracks on board to do it.
I guess you could go Florence, Dillon, Anderson, but that's about. We don't have a whole lot of tracks in the radius anymore.
We could jump up there to
you grab Hickory or what's
Caraway.
Caraway's kind of not too far over.
What's the other one? All-American.
Yeah, that's kind of way up the way, though.
It is. I mean, if a couple weekends.
Yeah.
But yeah, Hickory, we might could do that. we've talked about it a little bit, and me and Dennis actually talked about it some. Maybe it's just a lot of logistics.
Oh yeah,
and it's one of them things. If you're gonna do it, you pretty much got to get sponsors. But in saying that, I've talked to Kale and Levi before. I don't know if they changed it this year, but the Ohio Valley Legend Car Series, they didn't get paid for nothing.
really.
No positions paid at one point in time. I don't think they changed that this year. I should ask, but I don't think they changed that. But what they did was the driver, whatever track they went to, the driver got in free, and they raced.
There you go.
Just bragging rights, pretty much, which is cool.
It's fun to have a little points thing to look to.
Exactly.
Other than just the track points, so that'd be cool.
Exactly. So we'll see. We'll see. Well, congratulations to Levi again. But let's get back to Dylan over there. You and your dad, we talked about Pete's fireball, his magic trick back there, when he decided to throw the fireball out of his hand. But you and your dad raced for the first time against each other in a full-size cars.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all had raced each other a few times in the Legends cars, and even the last time we talked about it, you got bragging rights off that one. How'd it go in the Challenger race this time?
Yeah, I felt like we both were pretty good. I mean, really. Unfortunately, there was two out there we didn't have anything for, amazingly. But I felt like my car was probably the best it'd been all year, really. And
It looked quick.
we were both really even once. I mean, maybe I might have been half a tenth faster just all day. I mean, it seemed like we were both really good, and it took green. I started 30, started fourth, and we pretty much stayed there. We went 30 laps, green flag. It was a really uneventful race, to be honest. But I enjoyed it. It was fun to get to race them in a big car.
Well, maybe it was uneventful for y'all, but I was spotting for your dad.
Oh yeah, that was.
And there was some lap cars out there.
I think we lapped one car on lap 2.
I'm pretty sure you did.
I think the second time we came around to see the start to finish line, there was a lap car.
I was no lie, and I know you were the same way, but I would look a straightaway ahead, and I'd call where the lap car was coming out the corner, and by the end of the straightaway, he's almost past him already. Yeah. That's how much slower they were. And I mean, I get everybody has a right. You paid your money to be on the track. I get it, but
there's a threshold where it's dangerous. Yeah.
Well, in my opinion, I think we need to do in every class, just like NASCAR. I get up to a second slower, beyond a second slower, maybe 2 seconds. Let's stretch it, make it 2 seconds.
Yeah, we have some cars 2.5, 3 seconds slower.
After 2 seconds, you are a danger to people on the track, and I'm not downing anybody for that. But you got to practice.
There was almost a bad.
The
leader really got held up
twice,
big time.
Twice. The lead changed twice because of lap cars. And I don't think we don't need that. We can't have that. That's just I don't like them. And I mean the track officials doing all they can. They're giving them the flag to move over, and I guess their spotters telling them. I mean, I would hope so if they have one. I'm wondering if some of them had one. I don't think some of them did. But man, it's like, I don't know. I feel like almost if you get 3 laps down and you got past 3 times.
And 30 laps.
If you got past 3 times under green flag conditions in that amount of time, you need to come on off track.
Yeah. It's
it's not safe.
Yeah, I mean, really.
It's not safe.
The closing rate is crazy. You can't. Instead,
mistakes
happen.
I'm not. I'm like I said. I'm really not down in the guys by no means. But there was, I know, 2 cars out there that, with what we were turning into Legend cars, we were 2 seconds faster.
Oh yeah.
Than some of them in the Challenger class.
The slowest class you can find were faster.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And it's just dangerous. It's dangerous. But anyway, so like I said, uneventful race. But your car looked strong though.
It really did. It drove really good, and thankfully we had Mr. Chad Webster's motor in, a spare motor he had, and I think it really it really picked us up, which is kind of relieving. You know, we always felt like we were a little down on motor the last couple of races, but you don't know. Maybe you think, you know, so it was kind of good and bad to put it in and pick up a couple of tenths. You know, at least we know what the issue is, and the car still you know run what we think it can, which is good.
Well, Pete said that he wants to thank Chad and Robin and Ethan for all the help and
For sure.
had some horsepower. Y'all had some horsepower under the hood this week.
There was a noticeable difference for sure.
It looked. I could see it. I could see it out there. So it was good. And your dad also, he didn't look bad. He was in Chad's car in 22. First time he's been in a full size car in a couple years.
Oh, yeah.
Good to see him run good. Kind of kept on, seemed like getting better throughout the day. But I'm gonna tell you, you know, and we all know. I mean, a racer is a racer regardless, and we might stay out of it a little while. But you give us a day back in the car, and
Oh yeah,
I ain't gonna say we're the fastest thing out there, but we're
it's like riding a bike.
back up to speed. And it was the same thing. I had my race monitor on the whole time, almost every lap, just same. So I was like, well, he's getting every bit he can get out of the car because it's the same every lap. So he was a little bit snug in the center of the corner. Told us and just couldn't. He'd have to turn real hard to get off and end up spinning the tires off. But overall, not a bad night for both of y'all. Cars stayed clean mostly, well through the race. Yeah. Anyway, practice not so much. You had a little scuff up there in practice.
Yeah, a little incident there, but nobody's fault. Just unfortunate, but
didn't tear nothing up.
No, we were all right.
Just put some tire marks all the way down. That your left side door has caught it.
Oh, it's had a rough life.
This year.
Oh, this year.
This year.
Oh, yeah.
It is man, it's been something else. Cool. So are y'all gonna do anything over at the 400?
I don't see us doing anything right now. They're not really running chargers or anything, so
you can step up to the limiteds.
We could, but I don't know. I think right now we just need to reset and get ready for next year is probably the best thing for us.
Yeah.
But
that's at the point we are, pretty sure. We might have a little thing, go run some cars over at Dillon one day, not a race, but just and probably just legend stuff. But you know, other than that, I think we're pretty much done for the season. I want to thank, you know, Dennis Brown for letting me run his legend car for the majority of this season that I was able to run. It was a tough season for us to say the least. Having the motor trouble I could have kept running it. I felt like that's the thing, is I could have kept running the motor that was in the Charger car there, but it wasn't going to get no better. It was just had tons of blow by, so had to get it out of there, had to get it freshened up. But looking to get it back going ourselves, and hoping one of the first races next year we'll have it ready.
Oh yeah,
ready to go. So anyway,
probably done to the New Year's bash at least. If we decide to bash at the bash, we'll see.
And get some redemption for you over there.
Yeah, but it's always risky.
It is
when you choose a tread.
But
New Year's bash, but
man, you was running so good over there last year to grenade that thing. I feel like now don't get me wrong. I think you run great at both tracks, but it seems like to me something about Dillon.
Yeah, it seems
you
Charger car seems to be a little better there. Yeah, for sure.
So who knows? We'll get back out there for sure. But let's go ahead and I want to thank our good friends over at SRI Performance. Ladies and gentlemen, they are your one-stop shop for all things racing. Head over to www.sriperformance. Man, get everything you need all in that cart on there, and just, you know, all the good stuff, all the nice stuff, all the stuff you need to make that car fast for next year, make it look good, make it, you know, perform well. So head over there. Get all of it in the cart. When you get it all in there, put in promo code CBONE10. That's C as in
Chicken.
BONE10. Get yourself 10% off there at time of checkout.
About to need me some SRI if when I had a little more runoff room there, because with that legend car, went down to that corner with no brakes. And that wall was coming up fast.
It's fun, ain't it? I did that one time, except there was a car in front of me, so I used them as brakes.
Well, I kind of had a feeling it was coming, but when it actually happened, it was it's like it happened in slow motion and fast at the same time. But yeah,
well, we'll get y'all hooked up. So, but also, ladies and gentlemen, same deal over at Stock Car Steel and Aluminum. Go make them cars look good, especially you dirt guys. There's still some big dirt races going on. I don't think dirt racing ever stops.
No, I mean, asphalt
don't
getting
much
that way
either.
Too.
But still some big dirt races going on. Go get it, make them cars look good. Head over to Stock Car Steel and Aluminum. Get yourself some painted sheets of aluminum, all the colors you need, all whatever structural type materials you need for that car. Get it up and ready, not for this year, make it ready for next year. Make it good and safe. So head over to Stock Car Steel and Aluminum. Talk about a legend car there. All right, well, we ran, we had a race over there, 30 laps. A little bit different format for us this week. 2 rounds of practice, and we qualified this week.
I was thrilled about.
I was, but I didn't run good. But until me and Connor went out together, we Connor had an issue this week. What happened with the trailer over there?
Oh, just part of the hatch or hitch just broke off in the hand, but thankfully David was on standby. Thankfully we don't live too far apart.
No, we was right over here. Connor texted me Saturday morning like, "You left yet?" I was like, "Nah, getting ready, getting loaded up. Can you come get the legend car?" Yeah, we'll swing by there.
I knew it was a bad sign.
Nah, that's just the way it goes sometimes. So, me and Connor go out. I ain't gonna lie, I struggled. We've been searching on this car, searching. I've struggled all day. But me and Connor go out. And the direction we had gone on my car, I thought we were going the right way. And I still think we did to an extent. And I was like, when we went out, I saw him with oil dry over there, and I was like, what's going on? Well, then we got out on the track, and I realized what was going on. Connor said he went down there, and you said you felt like you about lost it, didn't you?
Yeah, it surprised me. I had my hands over my lap. I mean, it just, going into turn one, because you really send it off into turn one and let it land and all. And when it's like, as soon as I turned off the wall, it jumped sideways on me. But somebody was dropping some oil or something. It was slick there going into the corner.
It was slick, and that did not help my cause at all, at all. So yeah, I was like, man, was my car just that bad? And then Connor got out. He said, man, did you feel all that oil out there? I was like, okay, man, it wasn't just me. And then I looked, and Connor still qualified 5th, and I was like, man, come on. Real quick, I'm not throwing anybody under the bus because I don't know all details, but we had some controversy in qualifying. I'm still really trying to figure it out, honestly. It was said that there was a couple cars too low. Their tires weren't punching right numbers. Yeah. And what I originally heard was they were putting them to the back. They had to fix the problem, put them to the back. Well, when we get out there, they were all back up front. Did you hear what actually went on there?
I think they just had to fix it.
They just told them to fix it?
Yeah, I think that was kind of what they decided to do, which, I mean, I kind of understand. I mean, that's the first time you've ever checked something like that over there.
Yeah.
So I can kind of understand, but, I'd say next time that's kind of, you know the rule now.
Yeah.
But you could tell it definitely affected them, though.
Yeah, there was a couple cars that definitely, basically everybody, your lowest point on every race car is the left front. And the left front was just too low for these guys. So they had to go fix it. And there was a couple that didn't seem to get going after they, and that's a fine line that we find in these cars, especially that I have found with the sedan that I'm running of Mr. Dennis's, doesn't seem like it affects the coupe near as much. But you need that car almost down as low as you can to kind of keep that roll center.
Oh yeah, we got so much more bars up in the top of it.
Exactly. Kind of keep that roll center down. And so I think them guys jacking the cars back up. I'm wondering. I'm like, I think I would have went around the entire car and just went up evenly all the way around if it were me that had to do it. I might put my roll center a little higher, but everything would have stayed the same.
Kind of your geometry.
But it looked like the guys that were doing it were they were just turning on the left front. I'm like, man, y'all were just taking the autocross out of it. So, but whatever. And I don't really know what happened with the tires. They came out and punched all of our tires before the race. Everybody was legal before the race. So I guess all that was good, which is, in my opinion, that's probably the time to do it.
Yeah.
Just do it right before the race. The rule on that is the INEX rule looks kind of vague. I think the way they were saying it was written, kind of varied in some numbers and all that stuff. But being that Dillon isn't an INEX sanctioned track, I don't know. But they go by the INEX rules for the most part. So I don't know. I mean, it was what it was. I had a rough night. As far as handling wise, but I made it farther than you did.
Yeah,
so
you did finish the race, which is one I've done a couple times.
What all went on with yours?
I felt like the car was probably very good. I mean, really, I felt like I was in fifth, kind of about a third way through the race. I felt like I was right on fourth and third. Look, I think I was faster, just kind of getting some looks, trying to pass them, kind of trying to go in the corner and cut down and pass them. So my center speed was a little bit quicker, center of the corner speeds, and all of a sudden, the two cars in front of me, racing hard, one guy gets loose or they kind of get close, I have to check up, and I was already kind of rolling the center a little bit quicker, so I had to jam on the brakes one time, right in the center of the corner, and next going to the back, it kind of felt funny, and then it was like going into turn 3, there wasn't hardly any brake pedal there. Going to turn 1, a couple laps, another lap or two where there's almost no brakes, I was kind of like, well, I'll just kind of ride it out. I think I ain't going to be aggressive. I think I can finish the race under green without much brakes. I'll just kind of ride here. And so I kind of did that, and I was kind of expecting a little break, and then going into one, about a lap later, just nothing. No brake pedal straight to the floor, and I was headed towards the outside wall quick. It was kind of like in slow motion. I remember I shut the car off for some reason, kind of as a reaction. I was thinking if the throttle would have hung, in a big car, I was supposed to do shut it off. But I did that, slowing it sideways, got it wound up enough before I hit the wall and looked in the mirror. I really, no caution because I'd saved it, so I flipped switch, cranked it back up, was able to get down the pit road and realized that my header had also come off. I had no idea. Everyone thought something broke in the suspension, but no, I had no idea. So it was a chaotic couple of laps there. I think just two coincidences, but we it was unfortunate. I felt like we had a pretty good car.
I figured something in the front end broke because earlier in the day you come in and Pete was over there and went to, I think, changing tires or moving some stuff around, and realized your upper ball joint on the right front was really loose.
Very. Yeah.
So, and you were out there messing with the Charger car or had to go qualified or something like that. So I was like, I'll take care of it. So me and my dad got over there and we tightened it up a good bit. So I was like, man, I hope that ball joint ain't coming apart.
I hope something else coming apart.
Might need to check that ball joint, though.
Yeah. It needs some TLC in the off season for sure.
Oh, yeah. That's the fun part. Well, cool. Well, glad you kept it out the wall.
Yep.
You've managed to do that somehow.
There's been some times I've been headed towards the wall.
You have broke a couple things this year that other people have gotten into the wall when they broke. And you have managed to not hit the wall. So good driving.
Appreciate it. A little bit of luck.
Other than that, it was fairly good. I guess good race.
Yeah, what I was watching,
everybody looked at me and they were like, I figured you had a good pucker moment coming out of 4 because I had 3 cars jam up spin right in front of me.
Yeah.
Were you watching that?
I did see that.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no.
And I don't know. I told him, I said, I didn't think it was actually that bad because I was in the middle of 3 and 4 and I'm looking at those 3 cars and it just went through my head like instant. I said, somebody's about to wreck or spin or something. And I didn't get back into gas when I was in the center. And all of a sudden I just look and I think it was 7 car just spun around right in front of all of them. And then, I think Barry got in it and Ryan got in it, and
Looked like they played out good for you as where you, like you when you drive, you kind of when a wreck happens, you kind of guess where they're going to go. It looked like you guessed pretty perfect. Had a couple times this year where I've guessed and then they've made a
you had one that was pretty dramatic.
Yeah, but looked like you guessed just right that time.
I did that time.
Which was good.
I'm knock on this fake wood here. Oh, cool. Guys, also want to thank our good friends over at Profab Headers and Exhaust. Connor was holding one the other night. They had a Profab muffler in his hand.
One.
On a Legend car. But they make good stuff. Connor just got to tighten the bolts up on it.
The tab broke off.
No, I'm picking. That's part of it.
Oh, yeah.
But guys, head over to Profab Headers and Exhaust. I don't care what kind of application you got. They got the exhaust for you. Head over to Profab Headers and Exhaust. Talk to our buddy Andy over there. He'll get you hooked up. I don't care if you're looking at they make everything for iNext. So go through iNext and 600 Racing, whatever it's called now, and get you headers for your FZ09, your MT09. They got all that over there. They're the sole supplier for them. Also, I don't care if you all the way up to super late models. They got all the headers you need. Not only do they sound good, not only do they look good, but most of all, they perform good. Their slogan is that they are quality that wins, and that is 100% true. Just like every NASCAR race, there are tons of Profab headers on the track. So y'all go head over to Profab Headers and Exhaust. Tell them we sent you. Also, our good friends at Earl Ramey Racing Engines. Guys, head over to Earl Ramey Racing Engines. Get you some horsepower under the hood today. That's another one. I don't care what kind of application you're looking for. Maybe not Legend cars, but but every other one in the world. Any V8 style engine, Earl's got to hook up for you. So you head over to Earl Ramey Racing Engines, get some time on his chassis dyno, and find out all the ins and outs that you need to for that, and get hooked up with him today for sure. All right, well, so there was a lot more champions crowned.
One more week to talk about NASCAR.
Yeah. Talk about how me and you got whooped on our picks here.
Oh.
Real quick. We'll just go ahead and get that out of the way. I know we said it last time. We didn't even pick this week for the simple reason Sterling killed us.
Yep.
We had no chance catching him. I finished second. Connor finished third.
Yep.
Rough year for us. Congratulations, Sterling. Whatever. Blah. No. Good job. That was it was fun. It was fun doing it. I think we're gonna change it up some next year though, because everybody else picks cup stuff constantly. I'm thinking about maybe inviting some more people in from outside the podcast, and we'll get some. Maybe we'll do some live picks on here for certain people, and we'll get signed up. Maybe 10 people get signed up.
Sweet.
I don't know. Maybe 5. 10 might be too many. I don't know. But what I'm thinking, I don't know, you tell me. I'm thinking on Monday, when there's a race, and I don't care what race, I don't care if it's street stocks at Florence. If we know some people running in it, we just pick a race and pick a driver. Do it the same way, points, same way. We might do a winner. If you pick the winner, might get a bonus point or so. Mm-hmm. I don't know what you think. What you think about that? Just picking we might pick a Cars Tour race.
I think we'd be better off if we just pick like a Cars Tour or whatever big dirt
exactly.
series. I mean, there's a million.
That's
of them.
what I'm saying. We'll pick something like that, but the weeks that there aren't much of that going on, which there always is, we can fall back and pick, something local if need be.
Yep, good idea.
Cool. We might even do some picks for the 400 coming up, just for the fun of it. We might get some people in.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be here the week after 400 to talk about it, but we'll talk about it when I get back. We'll have plenty of time there.
Give us some stuff to talk about over the winter.
Exactly. Because there's going to be tons of cars over there.
Oh, yeah.
I saw today that Josh Berry is going to be running Kevin Harvick's car.
Oh, that'll be a threat for sure.
Yeah,
ain't much better in late models than him, and that's a pretty good car.
That's going to be funny because I don't know. I don't think Josh Berry and Dale Earnhardt Jr. have ever raced each other.
Yeah,
other than in the Xfinity Series. So Junior announced last week he's going to be there.
Surprise!
Yeah,
hey,
wasn't surprised at all. But I mean, it's cool.
Think about how many tracks would love to have Junior come one time, and he's been to Florence 4 or 5 times in the last 2 years. So
that's cool. Carson Quaffle, obviously, Sam Yarborough already got the pole for it.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, we'll have a ton to talk about that next week. Might see who we can get on here to come on and talk with us about it. But anyway, so back to this week. First of all, we had the World Finals up at Charlotte, Dirt World Finals, World of Outlaw World Finals. First year I have not been to it in, I think, 4 years.
Wow.
I probably should have gone. I don't know. It was cold, and I don't like standing out there in the cold. But SRI has always treated me great there. Been in their hospitality tent every time. They had it going on again this year. I know Landon and his dad were out there. So cool to see the pictures and stuff they got. Our friends Dirty Grass Soul played opening up the party over there. Good stuff. But anyway, at the end of the day, Ricky Thornton Jr. took home the big prize on Saturday night. Go figure.
He's had a year, hadn't he?
Dude, he should have been your Lucas Oil champion, in my opinion.
Right.
We've talked about that. I ain't gonna go back into it, but we've talked about that. But dude's had a year. But Bobby Pierce ended up taking home the World of Outlaws championship for 2023 in the late model division there. So congratulations to him. Congratulations, both of those guys, for sure. Good racing. Scott Bloomquist back out at Charlotte.
Oh, yeah.
Laid down fast time, first night out, qualifying time, then didn't make the race.
Wow, really? I didn't know he didn't make the race. I saw he was...
Yeah, he laid down quick time and then fell back in his heat, then went into the B and didn't make it through the B. So...
That's the way it goes sometimes.
That's dirt racing.
Yeah.
That's what I like about dirt racing, actually. You got to be on your game.
For sure.
You got to be on it. So, with that being said, I ain't going to lie, I wasn't around to watch all of it. Plus, I don't subscribe to Dirt Vision because I can't pay that much a year for that much. So, anybody want to slip me a Dirt Vision subscription, I'd be glad to watch it. But I like the flow racing.
Flow's just got more.
Flow's got more. It's got... I like the way their price point is reasonable.
Plenty of dirt and asphalt.
Exactly. Got everything. To me, they just don't have quite enough on there to to justify me getting Dirt Vision. Jackson. So, but yeah, I hate I missed it this year. It's always a fun time to go up there. Just had a lot going on, and it ended up being one of them things I was only going to be able to make it Saturday if I did go, and I was like, well, they are racing, so let's go race.
Yeah.
You know how it is. But the other, I guess, big one from the weekend, we had all the NASCAR series at Phoenix. For the championship weekend, and Ford took it home.
It did.
Every one of them.
Well, I didn't even realize they had all three of them.
All three.
Yeah. The 98 trucks.
Yep.
Now, and yep.
Yep.
They got going on in Phoenix.
They did.
Too.
They did. Did you ever catch Ben Rhodes' interview?
I saw last year's where he was.
It was
this year's
probably
equal?
it was pretty much that 2.0. Somebody finally asked him how much he had to drink, and I think it pretty much come to the conclusion he had drank 3 whole big bottles of the champagne.
Wow.
Most of it out of a shoe. Literally, he took off his race shoe and they poured it in it, and he was drinking.
Going.
Yeah, and he was passing it around to people, and they were all drinking it. I'm like, y'all go for it, go for it. I mean, whatever. If y'all, that's what y'all want to do. I'm not drinking out of nobody's shoe, not even my own. Nothing, not even water. But no, but that was a joke of a race.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I have yet to even see the total end of it. It was starting at 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
And
Eastern.
But I have seen the highlights, and man, that's just embarrassing.
Dude,
really, to end a season like that.
It's awful. And I think, I don't know what the deal is. Well, I know we know what the deal is. It's just there's no respect.
No.
None out there. But my point is, at what point do sponsors step in and say, you're not racing like this? Or are they on the plan that any publicity is good publicity?
I feel like more of it is than
whatever way you can get us on TV, do it. Mm-hmm. And maybe that's what it is. I don't know. What you think about it?
Yes, I think it's just one race championship decider. I don't understand that at all. I don't understand why all the other rounds are 3 races and this is one. I'd love to have a championship series. I mean, I think that would be great.
Yeah.
Short track, 1.5 miles, and if you got a contract with Phoenix, you can use Phoenix as your 1 mile track, whatever.
Yeah.
But the track series is already kind of iffy sometimes. And
Yeah.
you put them out there with the one race championship. What do you expect really? I hate it.
They showed a picture from a restart, and it was probably on TV. Now, don't get me wrong; they weren't necessarily side by side. They kind of looked like a V formation. But I counted truck wise, there was 9 trucks wide, but there was room for where they were at the slots, and there was probably room for about 3 more.
I mean, they redesigned the track to be like that. You know,
I'm gonna put the grass back. I mean, that's the only way you're gonna stop that. I mean. But I don't necessarily think that's
terrible.
I don't think it's terrible either.
I believe it. That's kind of the only unique thing that really made that track worthwhile. But
in other than the restarts in the first 3 or 4 laps, when people are just diving that apron, after that it's like, all right, this
I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's terrible. I just don't think it's a championship worthy.
No,
I'd say Bristol, Charlotte, and Phoenix. I think that would be great.
Yeah. That would be fine. But yeah, Ben Rhodes won the championship after a Carson Hocevar got into Corey Heim earlier. Corey Heim come back and took out Hocevar, and which kind of ended
Grand in fingers. I really, like I said, I obviously it was on at 1 a.m. or something, but
dude, it was absolutely ridiculous.
From what I understood, that pretty much ruined Infinger's chance. He pretty much had it wrapped up, and they.
He killed it for him. My thing is about the late start time. I don't know why NASCAR and or Fox kind of wants to alienate their what I still say is core fan base. Regardless of what fan base you are trying to gain, you are still your core fan base is still on the East Coast.
Oh, for sure.
Especially for the truck series. Yeah. Especially for the truck series. So why are we starting a race at 10 o'clock at night Eastern? I can understand 8:30 to 9 o'clock.
Friday.
Yeah.
That's.
I mean, 9 o'clock's even on pushing it, but I can understand 8:30 to 9 o'clock. 10 o'clock, way too late.
For sure.
I mean, 2-hour race, what it should have been.
Still.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's still putting you at midnight on the East
Yeah,
Coast.
I do.
That's why I'm saying 9 o'clock at absolute latest. That puts you at 11 o'clock. Now they drive like they did and have, make it a 3-hour race.
You can still kind of tough out midnight, but you
Exactly.
can tough out 1 a.m. really.
Especially if you got something to do the next day. That's ridiculous to me. It's absolutely ridiculous. There's no reason that no race. I raced go-karts for too long, and we started way too late many, many nights. And we've even done it in big cars fortunately, not so much in the past couple of years, but I remember over at Dillon, I remember a New Year's race over there.
Oh, yeah. Well, I remember
that was like
I
freezing outside.
I had to leave just because, it's 11 o'clock, and there's three features left.
Exactly.
But we got home from the football game, and I turned it on and kind of walked away, and then I walked back in the room, and they're on lap 10.
Yeah.
I was planning to turn it on and watch the last 50 laps, but no, they're on lap 10.
I did the same thing. I was already got in bed and everything, and I was like, oh, yeah, race are coming on in 30 minutes. I'm like, wow, it's crazy. But anyway, I just don't understand why they're wanting to, why you would want to do that, because, like I said, your core fan base is still on the East Coast. 8:30, which would be a 5:30 start over there, and I know that's why.
Well, yeah, you say that, then why would you start the Cup race at 3 o'clock, which is a 12 o'clock start in Phoenix? That don't make sense.
Yes, exactly right, but it is a Sunday, whereas truck race was a Friday. My thing is, why not do a doubleheader on a Saturday?
Yeah, I'm fine with the trucks on Friday.
I am too, but if that's the issue,
yeah,
exactly. But if that's the issue, if the issue is the time frame you got to go for the West Coast, make it a doubleheader on Saturday. Doesn't make it near as big an issue. Yeah. I guess you give the guys in the truck series a little more of their own identity racing on their own day, but I don't know. I ain't like it. I ain't like the late start. Congratulations to Ben Rhodes though. On another championship. Also, want to say congratulations and and excuse me, and all to a guest that's been on this show, friend of ours, Wally Rogers. He hung up the headset after 30 years, basically, of crew chiefing. So he's going to be still into NASCAR to some extent, just not going to be on the road every week, and want to spend some more time with his girls and his family and all them. And I can't blame him one bit after being on the road that long. Oh, yeah. He's got nothing left to prove, but he's a super nice guy, super cool guy. We had him on the show a few months back. Love to get him on again. Maybe actually free him up a little more to get on and talk about racing with us. Might talk to him over the off season, see what we can line up.
Oh yeah,
he's cool. He's a cool guest. Really cool guy. So congratulations to him, and thanks for being cool with us and having a great 30+ year career in the sport. It's been really cool. The Xfinity Series. I didn't get to watch none of it because we were at the racetrack. I mean, far as live. What'd you think about it?
It's pretty cool. I mean, I hate ending on overtime, of course, but I feel like the deserving champion was definitely Cole Custer there, so that was great.
Yeah,
and it was exciting. I mean, Cole Custer had a fastest car, but then it came down. It was like all of a sudden John Nemechek passed him on the restart, and he had to come from third.
If he wouldn't have
in the last lap and a half,
If he wouldn't have, I think he had a flat tire. That's what it looked like. He said he went in the corner and the car just went straight. John Hunter said.
Yeah.
I think if he wouldn't have had a flat tire, he might have snuck out a win. Which Cole Custer was deserving. Yes, John Hunter, I could see being very deserving. Also, I personally was pulling for Allgaier just for he's been in it so long and he's been so close so many times. So, and I was hoping he could squeak it out, but I think Cole Custer had the fastest car, yes, but I also think whoever kind of established themselves in the lead, I don't think you were going to pass them without moving them somehow. Sam Mayer, I finished third place.
They were all coming off turn 2 one time, all 4 of them.
Yep.
First through fourth.
How about Sheldon Creed, though, finishing second in the race?
I like a lot of was going to win it for a while.
I did too. I really thought he'd have a junk car this week. I mean, a lot of people thought he'd have a junk car. I don't think his crew chief was going to do that. No.
That looks bad on the team.
It looks horrible. It looks horrible for team, horrible for team sponsors and stuff like that. So I don't think they would have done that. No. But everybody was like, oh, he's going to have junk going. I was like, nah, he'll probably go out there and run good. And he did. But anyway, congratulations to Cole Custer, finally sealing up a championship. Do you think kind of legitimizes him a little more because he had a decent Xfinity career, but he wasn't in it but for what, couple years, I think?
Yeah, maybe
one or two. Got moved up to Stewart-Haas. And had a horrible time pretty much in the Cup Series.
I think it just goes to show how tough the Cup Series is.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you think Austin Cindric, all these guys that were, dominant in the Xfinity Series they're struggling. I mean, Ty Gibbs looked like he hardly lost a race, it felt like, in the Xfinity Series. And he's not doing bad, but it takes time to, adjust over. So, but yeah, I think he really showed he's still a very good driver. Still somebody you want in your development camp for sure.
Yeah, I think he is too. I think, like you said, I think personally, the Cup Series is tough. I just think the cars are so different.
Great, yeah.
I personally think right now, at this moment, anyway, these couple years, the smartest thing I think somebody's done is take Carson Hocevar straight from the trucks to Cup. I'm not saying they're bad habits, but the driving style are so different from the Xfinity Series to the Cup Series right now.
I wish the Cup Series ran Xfinity cars.
I do too. I think it'd be better races.
I'd rather watch Xfinity cars than Cup cars. They just look like they put on better racing, really.
It does. It really does. Really, really does. But yeah, I just think those cars are so different that you can't translate the driving style from Xfinity to Cup now. So I think probably pretty smart to put Hocevar straight from trucks straight to Cup. Who knows? Anyway, moving on to the Cup Series there. First time in the history of the Cup playoffs that a driver that was not any longer in the playoffs won the race, and somebody else won the championship, which I've really thought was going to happen for many years, and it finally just happened. I don't think Ryan Blaney was happy about that happening, though. He was fine once he won the championship, but he got behind Ross one time, and I think he tried to knock the back bumper off his car. He really wanted to move.
I was happy for Ross, though. I like that.
I was too. That was pretty cool, but what's so bad is
he didn't get any cup.
That's what I was fixing to say. Is like
top 4 championship guys where he got any.
It's like being Mr. Illegitimate. I mean, just you won the race, but ain't nobody talking to you. I mean, it's just like whatever. You go there, celebrate on your own. But Ryan Blaney taking home Cup Series champion. Connor's pick, C. Bell there, early out.
Yes. That's what I hate about it. I mean, there's nothing.
Did you rub off on him? Y'all both had brake problems this week.
Well, I think he blew a tire, didn't he?
No, he blew the brake rotor apart.
Oh, is that what I heard?
Brake rotor went through the wheel.
Well, that's racing. I mean, that's
it is.
Like this is so many parts on these cars are going to break. And of course you're going to mess around and nothing's going to happen in the final race.
Well, he had said he come on the radio a few laps before that and they asked him, or he started saying something about his brakes feeling spongy, and they said, "Well, make sure you got all your brake blowers on." He said, "I've got them." He said, "I've had them on," and he knew then he was overdriving the car, basically driving it too hard and getting on the brake too hard in the corner. Which just really tells me brake rotors are apparently one of the most fragile pieces on the car, which is scary. And he, went down the corner, or was actually going down the back straightaway, and went to put his foot on the brake. As soon as he did, it just come apart.
Yep.
Went everywhere. So, yeah, I mean, that's part of it. I mean, it stinks for him, but I'd rather go out like that than somebody, dump me.
Yeah, but
it's bad regardless.
Only 100 laps in the race or whatever it was. I don't know.
Beat the traffic home.
I guess, but to have all that hype and attention before the race and just go out like that, not
even a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wasn't even really up there racing for it yet. Well, she didn't have the best qualifying effort there. I personally thought William Byron was just going to walk home with it. And I really thought what I predicted last week, I was like, this might just come true. We had Kevin Harvick up front.
Yeah, he was looking good for a
He
while.
was looking good, led laps. Last stage, all of a sudden, faded. I think he faded, like 7th or 8th, something like that. But, man, I don't think you can ask to go out much better than that. I mean, yeah, winning the race would have been nice, but at least in your last race,
he was still
being relevant,
yeah.
Finishing top 10, leading laps. I mean, leading green flag laps where you went up there and passed the leader. What else can you ask for? I hate it that you didn't win the races.
But I think the cars just weren't there.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't at all. Which is really weird because we talked about first year. I remember us talking about the Fords just weren't there. Now all of a sudden, select Fords.
I still think. I mean, you had Butcher for a couple weeks, and Blaney obviously was able to put together a couple weeks, 2 different times there. But still, most of them. I mean,
no,
they ain't Logano or the rest of the Ford camp really didn't do a whole lot.
No, Logano was not impressive. Pretty much any of the rest of the Stewart-Haas cars were just no good. Nah, they weren't Penske other than Blaney.
I mean, Blaney put together a good Coast 600 in a couple races after that, and then a couple races in the end. But he was good. But
he was just good at the right time.
As I'm saying, he was able to put together 3 good weeks at a time when he needed to.
Yeah. But was able to bring home the championship. How you feel about that championship, though? Is it? I'm gonna tell you, and I hate saying this, but I'm gonna use a couple drivers as an example. I'm gonna say Kurt Busch, say Brad Keselowski. I just use those right now. Those are guys that I have to sit there and think about. Oh yeah, they won a championship. After his first one, I was kind of like that about Logano. Like, oh yeah, he won a championship. And I had to sit there and think about again this week. Oh yeah, he won last year also. Yeah. To me, since this playoff deal has started, I guess they're not putting together a memorable year. They're just putting together one race to win. Because to me, I look at the year, and I'm looking at, in all honesty, William Byron, maybe Denny Hamlin.
I'll say William Byron.
I personally do too.
I don't know exactly, but I think.
But looking at numbers wise, stats wise,
like he would have been. It's a great year for him.
Yep. And William Byron and Denny Hamlin, I think, had the best statistical years other than anybody else.
Thankfully, the Cup Series at least has avoided any, say, unworthy. And I mean, that's use that term lightly, but every Cup champion in the playoff format has at least been, had a decent. They've been right there all year.
I said
Xfinity and Trucks have had some champions with this knockout format. They backed into that one.
I said last week that I personally wouldn't have been very happy with it. And not that I'd be mad with it or anything, but just if Christopher Bell would have won. Not saying Christopher Bell's not good, because he is, and I think he can go out and win probably any weekend, but he just didn't have that year put together. And to me, that would have just, I don't know, it would have made it not seem as, I don't know, I know you know what I mean.
You don't see it anymore. Really, we have a lot more winners per year, but used to be, Tony Stewart put together 10 win season, he wins championship. whoever wins, you kind of remember, oh yeah, they were just really good that year. And I mean, Byron was kind of like that with this year, 6 wins,
Exactly.
a lot of top fives and all. But I don't know.
Martin Truex Jr. I mean, he had a great regular season. Then playoffs started, and he was just
same thing with
horrible.
Harvick 2 years ago, won like 9 races, and I don't know. Yeah, I think it's just remember Chase Elliott won a championship.
Yeah, and that's another
It's
one.
just like what? Yeah, I don't remember.
He's the most popular driver, but it's just I don't know. It's just not. Now, Kyle Larson, I think Kyle Larson, when he won a championship. Yeah. Well, what is bad to say about it though is that year he had a dominant year.
Oh, yeah,
he won everything.
Yeah, he deserved it.
But he almost didn't because his car was not good at Phoenix. They just had a great last pit stop.
Well, I'm a Kyle Busch fan. I say the 2 years Kyle Busch won it weren't. The 2 or 3 years in between them he had better years than the 2 years he won it.
Oh yeah, especially the first one because he was out half the year.
2017 when he won 8 races, he didn't win it. Same thing 2016, 2018. I thought those were better years than the 2 years he won them. So I don't know, just championships kind of devalued a little bit in my opinion today.
It is. I feel like we need to bring the value back to the championship somehow. Don't know. But anyway. There's Josh Lowe on here. What's up, Josh? But anyway,
if this trailer's okay.
Yeah, Josh, is your trailer all right? Y'all get the fender straight? Y'all get it home? That was the worst wreck of the night. After all the races, somebody turned out and took the fenders off Josh's trailer. Man, that's rough.
I heard that. I was like, ugh.
Yeah, I was standing right over there by Josh here. I was like, ooh, that doesn't sound good. And it wasn't. Dude ripped his ladder off and everything. Anyway. Also want to thank everybody, our good friends from Fresh Chef. If you are in the Mooresville, Race City area, head over, check out our friends at Fresh Chef, cooking up some of the best food you'll ever find anywhere. Such great specials every day. Check out the shrimp and grits. I love their shrimp and grits. It is good, really good. So y'all go check out Fresh Chef. Also, our good friends at Rev Max Racing. Me and Jamie and Connor were talking the other day. It's about time for Connor a new suit.
Oh yeah,
we'll have to give him a call over at Rev Max. See what we can come up with.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, y'all head over to Rev Max Racing. Check them out. Some of the best designs. Just really cool stuff. Suits, gloves, even you kart racers don't need the SFI stuff. They got the suits for you. Y'all head over to Rev Max Racing. Check them out. Also, MPM, McAllister Precision Marketing. Y'all head over there. Check out Tanya. If you are especially new to this game and you need to be, you want to advance through racing, you got to have somebody that knows how to direct you through it, because a lot of people think it's just get out there and race. That's the fun part. That's half the battle. You got to get put in front of the faces you need to be in front of if you want to make it up to the higher ranks. So you got to get with someone that knows what they're doing in marketing. Get over with Tanya over MPM Marketing. Tell her we sent you over there. Oh, me, oh my. Also, Dixie Made. It is Christmas time, everybody. It's getting there. People talking junk to me because I'm like, hey, put up Christmas lights now. Walk in the house right now. My mom's been putting up Christmas trees today. I know where I get it from, at least. But it's time to start that shopping, if nothing else, guys. So nowhere better to go than Dixie Made. They got all the brands that everybody wants. Y'all head over to Dixie Made right here in Florence, South Carolina, right next to the flea market. Go over there. They got their layaway plan started. Head over to Dixie Made. See our friend Brandon over there and just see some of the best, the great brands that all the kids are wearing these days. The Drake, it's time to break out them Drake jackets. You got a Drake jacket? Them things, I hear they're warm. I don't have one either. Yeah. I see them too. I think Landon's got one. They say them things are warm. Y'all go get you one from over at Dixie Made. All right. What else we got?
Not a whole lot. Waiting on the South Carolina 400.
Yep.
And then we'll head into the off season officially.
Yeah. South Carolina 400 coming up in 2 weeks over at Florence Motor Speedway. Yep. It'll be the, let's see, I leave 17th and 18th at Florence Motor Speedway. I won't be there. I'll be somewhere out in the middle of the ocean. Somewhere. I'll be on a cruise. Been playing for a while. Didn't know we planned it on that weekend, but is what it is. Connor will be over there, though.
Oh, yeah.
If he ain't racing, be over there checking it out, see what all's going on. We'll send him over there. We'll make him the Chicken Bone Alley admin over
Thought
there.
about just pulling a trailer in there just so we got somewhere to watch the race.
And stay warm.
Yeah.
Because some reason, it don't matter how warm it's been around that. It always gets cold.
Oh, yeah.
Staying out there watching it. Yeah, I don't blame you. So, y'all be ready. Head out to Florence Motor Speedway for this South Carolina 400. See all the big names that are coming out to it. They're bringing out names every day. So, y'all get ready for that. All right. Well, congratulations to you again on your third place win there.
Thank you.
You got bragging rights till the next go round anyway.
Yes, sir.
Nah, they have fun out there, so it's fun. I was over there. Fortunately, the car was pretty good all day. You didn't have to work too hard on it, and didn't look like your dad had to. Didn't have to work too hard on Chad's car.
Good week to do that.
Yeah. So, well, cool. All right, guys. Well, we appreciate y'all hanging out with us. We appreciate all our partners as always on here. Y'all go check them all out. Tell them we always sent you. Appreciate all y'all hanging out with us. And I guess we will catch y'all next time.
See you.